Hello, sweet souls. This is your pre-recorded reading for Tuesday, April 1st. Happy Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. I just want to tell you guys, you are amazing. You're doing a great job. You're not crazy. You had your experience. I think I have 41,000 on this channel. We can't all be crazy, right? No. We are connecting through shared experiences, and we're here to love each other, to support each other, to uplift each other. Just know that you guys are amazing. You know, you went through something traumatic, but you had that experience so that you could take back your power and be the best version of yourself, to serve humanity by being you. So we're going to call on St. Michael. St. Michael, please transmute all negative energy to positive, sent toward myself or the collective. We're going to call on the Holy Spirit, angel saints, spirit guides, and ancestors, and ask for a message for your greater good. We pray for truth and only truth for the greater good of the collective. So let's start with some gemstones here and get some messages. And we'll try to make this a longer reading. I know you guys like the one longer and then the shorter one. So let's just see. Holy Spirit, Holy Angel, Saints, Spirit Guides, and Ancestors, what messages do you have for the beautiful collective? What do they need to know? Truth and only truth for the collective. Okay. Wow. Wow. This is so obvious what you all have been dealing with. First card is Ruby, and it says infinity. You know, infinity is what comes around, goes around. They said, stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. What comes around, goes around. You've been playing it small in the past. Dimming your light. Trying to conform to someone that was distorted because they didn't want to heal. Temperance, Amethyst, you're an earth angel. You were sent into someone's life to show them how to love, to restore peace and harmony. Unfortunately, this person refused to heal and evolve. Everything in moderation, including moderation. You had to learn that it wasn't your job to sacrifice yourself for another soul that refused to do the work to heal. You were dealing with hematite, the devil. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. Yeah, on earth. Embodying human form, body jumping, manipulating souls to carry out their monstrous deeds. So, you know, there was no way that this is good against evil. Temperance and devil, this is light and dark. See, envy, the person you were connecting with, the great star of Africa, it says envy. Envy is the religion of mediocre. It comforts them. It soothes their worries. And finally, it rots their souls, allowing them to justify their meanness and their greed until they believe these to be virtues. Wow. See, the devil corrupted someone's soul, planting the energy of envy. It soothes their soul to be envious of another, to justify their horrible actions against you. And their greed, it magnified their greed. This is something that they believed was virtuous, but in all actuality, a tool of the enemy to destroy them, to destroy their soul, to rot them from the inside out. But wisdom, you use that experience to gain wisdom, to help other people. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Yeah, you gain wisdom from this experience. Wow. It's very interesting, but true. So let's see. Let's do what lies beneath today. I'm going to do current energy, obstacle, and advice. You know what's so interesting is These are people that are master manipulators. To everyone in the outside world, they look like a good person. And this is by design. This is a well thought out plan, an universal manipulation of society to project an image of themselves that is honorable and kind and respectful, so that if someone should fall out of line and go against them, they have all of this group of people that they've already worked really hard to pretend with and manipulate to believe that they are good. So if one person falls off, they don't care because they got the whole group that they're going to go in agreement with them. That only works for so long. Their reality is shattering now because the whole group in the community that they manipulated to see them in a false way is starting to wake up. We're in a year 9. You know, false foundations are shattering. False realities are shattering. Masks are falling. All right. Current energy. What I just said. Game over. The false realities are shattering. People that were once manipulated are seeing through the illusion now. Because the mask is falling, people are starting to see the truth about this energy that the devil has manipulated. What is the obstacle? This person's insecure. It's an obstacle. It's an obstacle for them because they don't know any other way but to operate from their ego because of their insecurity. They don't know how to be vulnerable, honest, and sincere. What is the advice? Advice. They're surrounded by fake friends. They could have received advice from fake friends, people that are working against them. People that are just like them, that plot and plan of ways they can take advantage of other people. What is the outcome? Someone is investigating and finding out the truth. Bottom of the deck, getting a room, hotel, motel, suite, business, and pleasure. This person could be being investigated. This could have to do with work too. They're being seen as toxic. They've been trying to burn evidence. They're filled with envy. And they've made bad choices. Somebody could lose their temper with anger management. Running away, wanting to run away from the situation. They're in depression. Let's see what this is about, guys. All right. Let's clarify. Game over. Game over. Wow, that just slapped over there. Game over. The cycle of gluttony is ending. Someone being overindulgent. This can be financial. This can be sexual. Whatever this cycle of gluttony is. 9 of Cups. Gluttony is what I heard. Is ending. The blockage. This person cannot escape the consequences. And they are under judgment. This person was manipulated by the devil. Devil. Yep. It's time to pay the piper now. Give me one more for game over. Game over. One more. I have to have one more, please. One more. Yeah. This person, they messed with the wrong one when they messed with you. 6 of Cups. Because You came from a loving space and you had pure intentions. You gave true and unconditional love to this person. This was the final straw. This was what created the cycle of destruction and the end for this person. You were the last person they should have messed with. They have no defense. No defense for the things that they've done to you. They cannot play victim. Game over. Consequences are here. Tell me about the obstacle, being insecure. Obstacle. Yeah. Wow. See, it's an obstacle because this person was a liar, a cheater, and a snake. This person, King of Cups, they presented themselves in a way that was loving and kind to get their victims to believe their false persona as someone that has the ability to love. They do not. This is someone that breadcrumbs, that gives to multiple people. It's an obstacle because there's divine intervention here. When they went against you, the earth angel, that was the final straw. That was the final straw. They're defeated. They definitely went against the wrong energy when they decide to battle you. Someone that is a spiritual master, an old soul, someone that carries divine wisdom. Wow. All right. Let's look at fake friends. Fake friends. This person's a follower. Definitely a follower. Yeah. See, they had fake friends in their ear, creating confusion and imbalance. Convincing this person it was okay to juggle you when you were their 10 of cups. You were giving them unconditional love, to manipulate, to deceive. The blockage, what was real divine love, to throw away what was real divine love. They, because they were a follower, they gambled real divine love and lost. They're a fool. To put you in competition, they were a fool. And the cycle's over. Let's look at investigating. Investigating. Wow. There is a whole group, 3 of Pentacles, that is investigating this person. This could be legal. This could be the law. There's a whole team investigating this person. And with the justice and the upright, this is going to be made right. If this person was committing a crime, they are being investigated. They will be brought to justice. High Priestess. You're highly intuitive. You've been speaking the truth. You've been revealing the truth about this person and their actions. And people are starting to see a change. They're seeing a change in perspective. People are seeing things differently. They're seeing that you were exposing the truth. You were telling the truth. Let's look at getting a room. What is this getting a room? What is this getting a room? This person, while married to you, could have had this plan. They could have been hooking up with multiple people while they were married to you in a long-term commitment, trying to block you, Queen of Pentacles on the fence, trying to block your resources, trying to create burdens for you, trying to create confusion and illusion, trap you while they were getting a room. They were trying to hide this. They could have been doing it for business and pleasure. They could have been getting paid for this. But you're the star energy. You're a healer. And the truth's coming to light. They're being investigated. If they were making money off of something unsavory, it's going to come to light. Definitely going to come to light. You know, with game over, this overindulgent energy, gluttonous energy, it's over. The blockages, they can't escape the situation. They can't escape judgment. This person, they went against the wrong one when they went against you, Earth Angel. This person's not going to be able to defend themselves. They're not going to be able to play victim. It's over. It's over for them. Game over. Game over. There could be a child, Page of Cups, your child, getting some sort of clarity. This child could come forward. If you've had some sort of disagreement with a child or they believed a past person, they could come in with an apology. With a Hermit here, this child could be doing a lot of self-reflection, seeing things clearly. Yeah, as it pertains to a family dynamic, 10 of Pentacles. This child could be discovering that you were put in competition, that you were carrying a heavy burden, and that your past person, perhaps their father, their mother, was intentionally, emotionally abusing you, trying to battle you, trying to destroy you mentally, physically, and spiritually. It feels like a child, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, finding out the truth, coming to your defense, 7 of Wands, the Star, coming to your defense, 6 of Cups. It could definitely be a child. With insecure being the obstacle, this person's insecure because they know they were a cheater, a liar, and a snake. They know they project a false image to lure people in that they're loving and they're kind and that they have empathy. This person gives to multiples, but they did not expect divine intervention to create change, for the divine to step in. Insecure is the obstacle. Yeah. It's also an obstacle because you are the Queen of Pentacles. You found your confidence. You found your self-worth. You started creating something on your own, doing things on your own, recognizing you never deserved this type of energy, behavior, and that wheel started to turn in your favor. This is making them very insecure because this is justice playing out. This is divine intervention bringing justice. This person had fake friends in their ear, you know, creating confusion and illusion, telling them it's okay to juggle the collective, this family dynamic, to cheat. It's okay to cheat in this union, in this marriage, in this commitment, this family life. It's okay to manipulate. These fake friends only block them from real divine love. But they're a follower. They believed the advice. They believed these people. Fake friends. Bad investment. Page of Pentacles in reverse. This was a bad investment. Listening to these fake friends, they led them down the wrong path. 7 of Pentacles, these were seeds that were planted. They were deceptive seeds that were planted. This was a plan to get this person to be reckless, to take a reckless action, to bully you, to lash out at you. This is why they're under judgment. Yeah, to manipulate, to deceive. Yeah. The devil in reverse. You were dealing and battling with the devil himself, who had body jumped into this person and manipulated and took over this person's mind, body, and spirit. The spiritual realm moved you on. Moved you on. Now this person's being investigated by a whole group of people. This could be the justice system. This could be legal court system. But no matter what it is, there is a whole community, a whole group of people that are investigating this person. and the balancing of the scales are happening. Investigating. It's divine intervention. Baby. That's what I just heard, baby. It's divine intervention, baby. Yep. This is the balancing of the scales. The demasking of this person. Yeah. They're going to know what it feels like to be in this wounded warrior energy, to feel like the whole world is against them. They're going to be abandoned or rejected by those in their community. They're going to be humiliated. They're going to be penniless, broke. This emperor energy that fell from grace that comes out all the time. Getting a room. I mean, this person could have been doing some shady stuff at work. But I definitely see while you were married to this person, they had a plan to keep this marriage and to have flings. And this person tried to block your stability, your confidence, create burdens for you, create illusions for you to keep you trapped within your own mind so that you would stay in the situation. Getting a room. Getting a room. Yeah. This person had the Empress and the Ten of Cups. And they were a coward. They were lacking strength, courage, integrity. They were easily manipulated. They're going through a tower. Going through a tower. People in their community are turning their back, walking away from this person. Yeah. People are seeing that this person is nothing but gluttonous, greedy, money motivated, that they would throw anyone under the bus. Ten of Swords, they're facing massively painful endings. People are definitely not wanting to work with this person. People are hip to what they're doing. Yeah, you're the Queen of Swords. You've been speaking the truth, Ace of Swords, this whole time about this person, who they are and what they've been doing. They're going to be in massive regret. They're not going to be able to escape the consequences. And that's what we're seeing here. This is consequences. This is all, being discovered by the world and how dark and low vibrational they are. Being discovered. Let's see. What else do we need to know? I just want to get one for each section. Tell me about the game over. It says exam. Diagnostics, certificates, election and registration, exam, and gratitude, appreciate, thank you, and cherish. I feel like someone is examining something here. Somebody could also be going through some sort of testing, health issues. You stay in the energy of gratitude, appreciation, and peace. Insecure. Yeah, they're insecure because you're too determined. Go all out. Belief and victory. And then terrific. Fantastic result. Greatness and great moments. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune's turning in your favor. They're insecure about your victories, your success, your confidence. Queen of Pentacles. Also, the game is over. Part of the realization is seeing you in your gratitude energy, seeing you in a high vibration. It's exposing who this person is In some way, people, you know, maybe it's because what they have said about you does not align. And they can see you're happy and you're grateful. It's causing people to take a closer look. Fake friends. They trusted these fake friends with secrets. They couldn't trust them. They couldn't trust these fake friends with these secrets. Wow. Unwritten rules. They thought that they would follow unwritten rules. They couldn't trust them. They were fake friends. Investigating. Wow. Choice. Investigating the choices, the road this person took, the path, the destiny they're on. Decline, die, wither, and be forgotten. Disappear. This person may want to disappear once this truth comes to light. Wow. You also could have a passed over loved one that is assisting, prompting this investigation against this person. Getting a room. People are now gossiping about this person, what they were doing to you when you were married to them, the lies, the illusion, the mind games they played with you to keep you stuck so that they could live a double life. Rumor, speculation, and slander. The same thing they tried to do to you to destroy your character, to destroy you, is being done to them now. Only the things that are being spoken now about them is truth. Reject. They're being rejected. Negative. Negation. Never. Forbid and taboo. People see this person as creepy energy. They don't want to be around this person. They see them as dark. The darkness is shining through. They don't have your light to imitate anymore. They have a dark karmic. So all they can mimic is the darkness within the karmic. It's two dark people trying to pretend to be light, and all they can project is dark. People are getting the creeps around these people. Yeah. They went into a collaboration, and now it's a nightmare. It was just a dream. Crazy. All right. Let's see what else we can get. You know, this person was delusional. You know, it's like this person thought that everyone was like you, had true intentions, so that they could indulge in their dark plans, and that no one would ever turn against them. What they're coming to find out, though, is there are true evil people in this world just like them. They weren't loving like you. They were being manipulated. They were being deceived. So they worked with this fake group of people that was manipulating them, that's going to throw them under the bus. That's really what I'm getting. It's crazy. Let's see. Game over. Game's over for this person. The party lifestyle, the gluttonous, overindulging, the blockages, they can't escape. They have no peace, and they're under judgment. They can't escape the judgment. They messed with the wrong one because you gave true unconditional love. This person has no defense. They can't play victim. It looks like a child is doing some soul searching about this family situation. They see you were put in competition. They see that you were carrying heavy burdens, and that this person was trying to battle you through lies, illusion, mental abuse. The person from your past. Game over. The blockage, the illusions are coming out. Game over. The illusions about how they tried to block you. Game over. That's ending. Yeah. Causing mental anguish, causing drama, chaos, and conflict, putting people in competition. Game over. Why? Because it's all being exposed. Game over. And it could be being exposed to family that are going to self-reflect, go within. It could be your children. Could be extended family. This person's insecure because they know they're a cheater, a liar, and a snake. They know they try to pretend that they're this loving person, but they go out giving to multiple people, wear a mask. They didn't expect divine intervention. It's also an obstacle because you found your worth. You came out as the Queen of Pentacles, confident, independent. You are creating, and that wheel is turning in your favor, which is only magnifying this person's own insecurity. Yeah, you moved on to peace. You let this end with death, and now this person that pretends to be this loving, kind energy is being manipulated by an emotional manipulator that they connected with. The same game they tried to run on you is happening to them. They're in a karmic dynamic where there's cheating, lying, and stealing. This karmic feminine energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or just an emotional manipulator, is deceiving them. Yeah, this person that pretends to be a King of Cups could have married this person. 4 of Cups. They're going to feel so stupid when this Ten of Swords hits, when the deception and betrayal comes to light. They're going to be penniless, broken, and feeling stupid. But that's what they did to you. This person had fake friends in their ear, creating an imbalance for them, telling them that it was okay for them to juggle you, to have other partners. It's normal to be married and have other partners. This was a manipulation. By listening to these fake friends, they blocked real divine love. They took bad advice, Page of Pentacles, bad investment. This was a plan to get this person to take reckless action, to bully you, to manipulate you. This was the devil manipulating this person and all the people around them. Fake friends. Fake friends. Yeah. See, these fake friends put in a lot of work to get them away from their soulmate, to get them to pull back their energy, to not communicate with you, to overindulge with a third party or a party group. This whole friend group, fake friend group, was involved. They had real divine love. And now you have your boundaries up. You are the Queen of Swords. You are not interested in anything this person has to offer. All they can do is watch you. With investigating, there's a whole group investigating this person. I feel like some of these people have committed crimes and they're going to be brought to justice. Divine intervention is here. You know, this person's going to feel like the wounded warrior. Once everything comes to light, they're going to be left penniless, abandoned, or rejected. People are going to walk away from this person. Investigating. 3333 on my timer. It's divine intervention. Investigating. Misappropriating funds. Somebody could have been moving money, skimming off the top, hiding money. 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Taking funds from one area, moving it to another. And there's something about money here. Hermit in reverse. They definitely did not think this through. They're trying to hide it, but they can't. They can't hide it. It's going to come to light. 7 of Pentacles. This is a lot about money. Taking money, moving it. I just feel moving money. This person was trying to hide money. They're going to be brought to justice. This was not their money to hide. All right. This getting a room. People are seeing that while you were married to this person, they were having a whole separate life. Going around, sleeping with people. You were the empress. You gave them everlasting joy and happiness. This person was creating illusions, causing burdens for you, trying to keep you stuck and trapped. This person's a coward. They're going to go through a tower. It's the end of this gluttonous life. People are going to walk away from this person. They get the ick around this person. They can see this person for who they are. They're just nasty, dark. Getting a room. Yeah. This is a father figure that made an investment to block their own family, their own Ten of Cups, through manipulation. Yeah. The blockages, they were money hungry, and it's money they'll never receive. They're going to be abandoned, rejected, and in financial ruin. The Empress will get communication about this. This person's in heavy regret. They've been battling you. This player energy. They're now trapped. Trapped in the muck. Trapped with a love bomber gaslighter. Wow. All right. Let's do a couple from What's the Vibe. You know, I feel like it's gotten out of control. Whatever this person's been doing, it's way out of control. And it's gotten so far out of control now, this person doesn't know what to do because they no longer have any control over this situation. Too many people are involved and too many people know what this person's been doing. And so they can't lie their way out of it and they can't hide the evidence. They're definitely being investigated by someone, by multiple people, not just one person. They went too far. And the enemy was pulling the strings in the situation, manipulating this person, egging this person on to continue on this path. It's not looking good for this person. Let's see, what's the vibe? They're suffering in silence because they can't speak the truth. So they have to suffer in silence. Their ego won't let them tell the truth, so they have to be quiet and just suffer. Yeah, this was a masculine energy that fell from grace. They're suffering in silence because you're grounded, you're stable, you're secure. Some of you are wealthy, you're settled. Rumors, gossip, and nosy. Stagnant is the blockage. I feel like people are talking about this person now. How they're stuck. They're stuck in a dead-end situation. On how they were chasing a thrill and they made bad decisions. They could be talking about this person's addictions. Second chance, nostalgia, wishful thinking it's a blockage. There will be no second chance. This person doesn't deserve any chances. Yeah, it's an old ex that won't is trying to hold on. They don't want to let go of your energy. The blockage is an epiphany, self-reflection, answered questions, and untapped talents. People are finding out the answers. People are getting truth and clarity about who this person is, your ex. You are the divine femme energy, empress the energy. And now this person's paranoid because their truths are coming. All their lies are coming to light. They're exhausted, burned out, burdened, and feeling empty. They're paranoid because they know the truth's coming to light. They feel hopeless, loss, and depression. Shattered, broken, nightmares, and failures. You are hopeful, you're inspired, you're optimistic, and you have success. This is someone that you divorced, ghosted, separated, distance. You don't want to be around this person. They're stressed out. They could have migraines. They could be filled with worry. They can't let go. They can't let go. They want to come in with an insincere apology. Arrogant, rash actions, and insincere. They're bound to a karmic. Third parties, haters, and it says lesson learned. I don't think this person's learned the lesson yet. But when the divine gets finished with this person, they'll learn something. You're calling in a new partner with mutual respect, unity, and closeness, possibilities, following your dreams. Make up your mind and believe in yourself. Yeah, new possibilities and a new union. You're cutting ties with this person from the past. You are free. You're standing up because you have awakened. This person's hopeless and they're about to have legal issues. They could be antisocial at this moment. They can feel that something is happening. They took a gamble and it backfired. They're bitter and angry because the gamble backfired. You are relaxed. You're having fun. You're enjoying your life. Family. This could have been a family member, or you had a family with this person. This could have been a soulmate, or you're calling in a new soulmate that brings in harmony. Balance, peace, and happiness because you're having a glow up. Today, good vibes, now and in the moment. You're staying in a space of love and gratitude, and St. Michael is definitely protecting you, which is beautiful. Thank you, St. Michael. All right, guys, this is your reading for Wednesday. I don't know if I said Tuesday. This is your reading for Wednesday, April 2nd. I love you guys so much. If you're interested in scheduling, I am scheduling for next week. And if you're interested in meeting new people, check out Astrodippity. You can find all of my links to bio, TikTok, description of YouTube. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you, and I'll see you on part 2 or the last reading. Bye-bye.